Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about Justin Fields, and we're going to be talking about, what he brings to the table in a Justin Fields film session. Before we get started though, please drop a quick like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate that. That would help my channel grow. And with that said, let's dive right into it, and I hope you enjoy. So when we look at Justin Fields in college, this guy was accurate. He never threw below 66.8% completion percentage, and that was in his 2019 season. In 2020, threw for 69.9% completion percentage. But he had some really good years. That 2019 season where he threw for 3,200 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions was very good. Last year, threw for 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions on 2,000 yards. Remember, Ohio State only played barely played as many games as the other teams because of COVID. But Fields is good. He's really good, and his ability to use his arm and his legs makes him really, really special. So now let's talk about his game in today's film session. So I think the first test for a big-time talent quarterback prospect is, can they throw the deep ball? Can they? And Justin Fields can. I've talked to people, and people have been like, he has a flimsy arm. And I do agree that he doesn't have an elite arm. He does not have a 10 out of 10, Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence kind of arm. He doesn't have that type of arm. But he has an above average arm. He's got a really good arm. And especially his accuracy mixed with that, that just ability to stretch the field makes him special. It makes him really good. So in this situation, we're basically just going to see him just throw a deep ball here. It's going to be off this receiver, one-on-one coverage. He's getting a lot of space there, and he's kind of just going to run towards the middle of the field. It's going to be kind of a post route towards the middle of the field. As Justin Fields drops back, you can just see him just move into this throw, put his body weight forward, step into it, and simply just release. And you can see the power he has on that. You can see the accuracy. But more importantly, you can see that, he's beaten the safety over the top. So we don't really need to worry about that safety. So that means that all the space is open. So Justin Fields, from 50 yards out, has the power to put that ball into that open space for his receiver to run into. Something that's super important for these young quarterbacks, and something that really helps extend the field for Justin Fields, and it'll help him in the NFL because he'll be able to expand the field. But overall, this ball is in a perfect spot. It leads the receiver away from the corner. It's in a good spot for the receiver to go out and get it. And it's simply it's a nice throw from Justin Fields. It really shows that he can extend that field, expand the field, and throw the deep ball with really high accuracy and precision. And this is not really a highlight reel play, but I think it's a really good play that showcases, his ability to read the situation and understand what's happening pretty much. So he understands that he wants this receiver here, and this receiver is kind of going to run that sort of route through the middle of the field. And what we're going to see here is we're going to see pretty much man coverage on the outside, and then we're going to see some sort of zone. So it's going to be man-to-man coverage on the outside. This safety will drop back, and then it's originally man coverage here, but then it ends up kind of being a zone coverage in the middle of the field. So what we're going to see, as the receiver kind of drops over here and kind of runs through it, we're going to see him basically end up being put on a linebacker, which is never a good idea. You never want a slot receiver on a linebacker if you're the defense. And Justin Fields sees that. He sees that matchup, and he sees that there's space over here to throw into. And once again, it's all about throwing the ball into space. It's all about seeing where the defense is, where it isn't, and where you can throw that ball into. And Fields simply sees that his receiver's running here. There's space to throw into, so why doesn't he throw into that space? And you can see he's really accurate, right? He throws it here in stride. It's in a perfect place. Throws it in stride. The receiver has to go up a little bit and make a grab, but nonetheless, it's just a really nice throw. It's a nice throw, right decision. He makes that throw, and then the receiver doesn't even have to get touched, and he just goes out of bounds. He just reads the defense, sees the mismatch here, wide receiver on linebacker, and then is able to go out and execute. Really good job here by Justin Fields. But a thing I like the most about Justin Fields' game is his ability to run. It's also his ability to understand that if a play isn't there, he can use his legs and run. And that's what he does really well. You can see on this play here, drops back in the pocket, realizes there's nowhere really to go with the football. He's got a little bit of pressure here. And he doesn't really have anywhere to go with the football, so he can simply just move out and use his legs, and that's exactly what he does. Simply puts his head down, tucks the ball, and runs, and you can see the speed and the athleticism outside the pocket, and then just simply gets into the end zone. Nice little spin move. He's also elusive. He's elusive in open space. He's fast in open space. He doesn't have Kyler Murray speed, but he's gonna run. He's gonna run a fast 40, or rather, he did run a fast 40. But overall, I mean, the speed and the elusiveness in open space really helps him, and that ability to really extend plays with his legs and be mobile outside the pocket, and really understand that, hey, if a throw isn't there, I don't have to force a throw into a bad spot. I can simply just use my legs, step up, and get outside the pocket, and really make a nice play. And that's exactly what he does here. Really good job here by Justin Fields, really making a real impact play here. I mean, this is a nice play. Drops back, realizes nothing's there, simply steps up, gets outside, and makes a nice play. Really good job here by Justin Fields. And with Justin Fields, it's all about, expanding the field, and it's all about that deep ball too, with accuracy and just putting that ball into a good spot. So right here, I don't really need to worry about the defense here, but he kind of just pump fakes and just then flings this ball. And it's really about location here. We've seen that he has the ability to throw that ball into a deep area, but you got to see something here. The location is everything, because this ball is coming down to the outside. There's open space to run into for that receiver to get there. But you got to understand something. There's 3 defenders in the area. 1, 2, 3 defenders. And they're in close proximity. That's the corner on him. There's another guy on him. This guy's coming over the top. There's not a lot of space for this ball. Because if this ball is thrown a yard to the right, it's probably an incompletion. If it's thrown, a yard too far, it's also definitely an incompletion. But if it's thrown, it needs to be in a good spot, and that's exactly where it is. Because once again, if this ball is thrown over here, this receiver has to turn back in. This safety might be able to get there. Maybe one of the corners can get over here. But because that ball is just continuing to go to the outside, it's in a perfect spot. It's in a perfect place. And this is it's all about ball placement. Really nice ball placement. And when you can place the ball like that deep downfield, you can have a chance to be really special. And I think Justin Fields has that because he's got that great arm where he can really throw the ball downfield, especially with accuracy. Another thing I love about Justin Fields is his ability to see the defense and make the right decision. So in this case, it's going to be a quarterback option run play, where if this defender comes down, it's going to be a quarterback run to the outside, and if this defender stays where he is and kind of comes back, then it's going to be just a run play up the middle. So Justin Fields is already anticipating that, and he's looking at that defender and seeing, where he is, where he needs to be, and if he's coming down or if he's staying where he is. And he sees that this defender bites, so he realizes that all the space is now open, right? There's space to run into, and he can run into that space. So that's exactly what he does, and he has the wheels, and he gets a block here, a nice block there. He gets a block there and simply has the wheels and the speed to get to the outside and go unscathed in for a touchdown. Because he's really fast too in open space, so he can make these decisions and then have that speed to bounce the ball to the outside and then take it into the house. So really nice play here by Justin Fields. Shows you the decision making, shows you the mobility, and shows you just all around the good athlete he is, and the overall good complete football player he is, because he can make the right decisions, because he knows what the defense is and he's smart, but also he's got the athletic abilities to execute on these plays. And I know I talked about elusiveness a little bit, but this is a little bit more of that. I mean, he's going to take the snap, he's going to drop back a little bit, and he's going to feel the pressure. I mean, the pressure's going to come, the pressure's there, it's coming. So he simply just steps up, and he's just elusive and he's slippery, and he's got the speed and the elusiveness and the athleticism outside the pocket to make big plays. And I mean, he takes a little bit of a big hit here, which probably you don't need to do at the NFL level. But overall, I mean, this just kind of shows you that the dynamic athlete that Justin Fields is outside the pocket, and this is what he can bring to an NFL offense. He can bring his ability to extend plays and not take sacks and really get those extra yardage that other quarterbacks wouldn't be able to pick up. So this is Justin Fields once again being really smart and being really dynamic in open space because of the great athlete he is. And you probably should just go down there and slide, but nonetheless, you can just see his toughness, his physicality, to really just come in there and use his legs to really make a big play happen. And this is another thing that I haven't really talked about, but it's his ability to throw on the run here. So you're going to see him basically take the snap, roll out to his right because he sees the pressure coming to his left, but more importantly, he's got the accuracy when he's throwing out on the run. And you can see the accuracy back shoulder here that allows the receiver to protect the football and secure the catch, making the defender pretty much useless on this play. Doesn't really takes him out of the play because of really good ball placement. So you can see that that ability to throw on the run and be pinpoint on the run too with great accuracy that could really really help Justin Fields at the NFL level, where big defenders are going to be chasing after him, and he's got to really extend plays with his legs, but then he's got the ability and the option to use his arm to make those plays too. So I think that's a real big thing from Justin Fields. It's not just his ability to make plays with his arms and make plays with his legs, but it's to be able to make plays with both at the same time that makes him really deadly. So with that said, I think that Justin Fields is going to have a lot of success at the NFL level, and I really like him as a quarterback. I think that his mix of skill, athleticism, speed, but also his just arm too, arm and mobility, the marriage of those and the combination of those makes him really scary. I think that he can be really, really good because he's got great speed when he's running, but he's also got really good accuracy when he's throwing the ball, and he's got that big arm power that makes him able to spread the field and really throw the deep ball with a lot of strength and a lot of accuracy. So overall, I think Justin Fields is going to have a lot of promise in the NFL. And with that said, that's pretty much going to end the video for today. Did you agree with my analysis? Why or why not? Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate that. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, see ya.